Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and all throughout this month, we're going to be talking about a man who is one of the best directors working today and could conceivably beat the Venus de Milo in a staring contest. We're going to be talking about the man, the myth, the Nolan. Welcome to Nolan Month. I'll be covering every Christopher Nolan movie leading up to Tenet, which will be coming to theaters, thank God. And just for the sake of transparency, I'm going to be heaping a lot of praise on Nolan over the next 30 days or so, because he's my favorite director working today. I have seen a good chunk of his movies in theaters, and they have wowed me every single time. Even though I am a fan, I am not a blind fan. I do recognize that Nolan has a lot of people that don't like him. They think his movies are too long and they're too pretentious and that they're too overblown, among other things. But while I respect those opinions, I safely say that I don't agree with them. I believe that Christopher Nolan is making some of the most unique movies going today. Even if he has adapted something like Insomnia or the Dark Knight trilogy, or has based something on an actual event like Dunkirk, every single one of his movies is uniquely Nolan. There's no denying that. You don't watch something like Inception and be like, Tarantino's been doing some good work lately. And just for the sake of full disclosure, I don't hate any of Christopher Nolan's movies. At their worst, they're still very enjoyable. They look great, and largely, they're solid all around. I just have some problems with the story. But we'll get to those when we get to those. But at their best, they're some of my all-time favorite movies. But enough of the grandstanding and the hot dogging. It's time to talk about Nolan's films, starting with his very first film from 1998 called Following. This was not only Nolan's very first movie, but it was a movie that he wrote, produced, directed, and shot all by himself. It tells the story of a young man who has made a hobby out of following people around London. Now, as weird as that sounds, it's actually quite innocent. He just likes to study people and see what they do in their daily lives. But one of the people that he follows, who is named Cobb, discovers his secret and is like, hey, why don't I show you something that I do in secret? And so the two start breaking into random houses. When it comes to this movie, it was far more fascinating to learn about how this movie was made rather than the movie itself. Basically, by all accounts, this was a guerrilla movie. It was all shot and directed by Nolan. It was written by him as well, like I mentioned. The budget for this movie was around $6,000. Like, no, I'm not kidding. Like, $6,000. Not $600,000, $6,000. And Nolan went specifically out of his way to make this look as inexpensive as possible, including shooting the movie in black and white and on 16mm stock black and white film. And in terms of the actors, Nolan had to work around all of their full-time jobs and their schedules, so the movie took around a year to make. But the finished product was actually pretty dang impressive. The only actor that I sort of recognized was Jeremy Theobald. I hope I'm saying that correct. He was the best actor of the bunch, and he sells all of what's going on pretty well. Following is very short. I don't think it's even, 70 minutes long. It's just barely over an hour. And it really feels like it, because the characters in this movie are, super thin. Now, this could work in something like Nolan's later movies, but in this, you really don't know the motivations of anybody. And not in a, ooh, what's gonna happen way of, why are we following these people kind of way. And Nolan's classic non-linear storytelling method where Scene 1 is set against Scene 9 and Scene 8 is against Scene 2 works well in his other movies, but it really didn't work too well here. Because the movie was all shot in black and white, it's really hard to figure out where he's going with the story. So when plot twists come around and you're supposed to be like, I didn't see that one coming, you're just kind of like, wait, how did we get from A to C? But despite all of that, and just for the sheer respect of how this movie was made, I'm going to give Following a great rating. It's imperfect, but it's a great first outing. After this film came out, critics were saying, wow, Christopher Nolan is a rising star. Boy, how right they were. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Next up on Nolan Month, we're going to be taking a look at the movie that made Christopher Nolan into the star he is today, Memento. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down in the comments down below. And if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way, when a new video drops, you will be the first to know. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.